You guys can just throw on a hat,
You can too.
Well, I always say the greatest day of my life was when I started losing my hair. And I don't ever have to worry about it. I never have a bad hair day. See, that's the beauty. I might have a bad hat day every once in a while. It's crooked or it's dirty or whatever. But never a bad hair
I've
day.
got this great logo here that you, I think, created with your daughter, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I did not create the logo. One of our steering committee members, Sarah Svetish, did in 2017 when we first started this group. So I can't take all the credit, but my daughter and I originally had the idea to start this group. So yes.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So for the uninitiated who have no clue what we're talking about, what is the Northern Illinois 100 Women Who Care?
Well, it's part of a national alliance called 100 Women Who Care. You can Google it. They have chapters everywhere. I first saw this in Traverse City, Michigan, and I thought I was retiring. And I thought, this is going to be great. We're going to raise some money for the community. And so we started the chapter in 2017. We have 5 or 6 steering committee members that helped get it off the ground. And what we do is we meet 3 times a year. We're the Northern Illinois 100 Women Who Care chapter. We meet 3 times a year, and we give money to local charities. So we started in February of 2017, and we have given almost $80,000 to area charities since then.
Nice.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Anybody can join, and it costs $100 3 times a year. You pledge to give that. You can also, though, form a team of up to 4 people, so you can share the cost of that $100, but it is $100 a vote. So at this point, we don't have 100 women. I mean, COVID, we suffered a big blow during COVID, but right now we have 59 members.
Okay. There's brilliance in simplicity.
Amen.
And this group is a shining example. And for those who are listening to what I just said right there, and you think that I'm dissing on this group, I'm completely complimenting this group, because most often the best ideas are the most simple ones that are easy to define and explain. Now, I know there's a little bit of a fun wrinkle in what you do as far as meeting and how this money gets handed out. But the premise is the goal is to get 100 women to meet 3 times a year, correct?
Right. That is the goal.
Keep it a big goal.
That's what we go for. So I don't take offense to that. It's a badge of honor.
Right. And what you just said, $100, you're bringing $100 to this meeting, right, knowing that it's going to a good cause. You just don't know which cause yet until the meeting's all over.
Right. And you get a chance really to decide which cause. As a member, you have an opportunity to speak about a community charity you're passionate about. You don't have to. We have members that have never spoken, and we have members that throw their name in the hat every time. And we pick 3 names out of the bucket. Another very easy thing about this is it's only an hour of your time. We're very busy. We appeal to the working women or the busy moms. Well, of course, they're working as well. But we know that time is valuable. Our meetings are no longer than 1 hour, and sometimes they're about 50 minutes. So what happens is you can throw your name in the hat. If your name gets picked, you give your best 5-minute elevator speech about your charity. We have a few minutes for questions. We move on to the next member. After that, we all vote, and everyone writes a check to the charity. We don't have a checking account as 100 Women. We're just the flow through for the money to the charity. So it's real easy and simple.
I love the concept. I love the idea. And obviously it's been around. Do you have any clue how long this nationwide effort's been underway here?
I do not know. I guess I should have looked that up, but
it's been over a decade anyway.
Yeah. I know that there is a chapter in Stevenson County. There are chapters in Wisconsin, and men are even getting involved now. I know there's a chapter in Chicago, and the title of it is 100 Men Who Give a Damn, but they're part of the national network. So and you can make it as complicated. Some people have fundraisers and, they just go hog wild. We wanted to keep it very easy and simple. We wanted to make it affordable. So you could bring 3 of your friends and you each throw in $25 3 times a year. And you hear about all these great things happening. I mean, we have over 400 local nonprofits in our area that we could give money to, that we've learned so much about great things happening in the area.
Yeah. You're doing very much similar work to what we're doing, only Tom and I aren't raising money every week. We're just shining a light on stuff.
I mean, it's the ripple effect, right?
Right.
It's the ripple effect. And we've had some great, unintended consequences from this. People that have said, oh, I like that charity that I just heard about. I'm going to bring my group of friends and we're going to be volunteers at that charity, or I'm going to give extra money, or I know a funding source for this charity. I mean, just so many great things happen at our meetings. We've given money to Rockford Promise, the Super Center for Autism, Rosie's Birthday Club, the Fatherhood Encouragement Project. Our latest donation was $4,000 to KFACT, which is a junior and high school mentoring program for girls here in Rockford. Rock and Roll Institute, Life Decisions, Habitat for Humanity. I mean, the list goes on. It's really been a phenomenal thing for me.
Well, I put the link to your Facebook page in the chat so people can just easily click on that, go right to your page.
Great.
And right at the top of that page is the link to this next meeting, which is Tuesday, June 11th at Pig Minds.
Pig Minds Brewery. They are gracious to host us. They don't charge us anything. We encourage our members to have a drink, have a bite to eat, stay after and have dinner, come before. It's great. So yes, Tuesday, June 11th, registration starts at 5 o'clock. If you just want to come and see what we're about, we don't expect you to give a donation. Just come on in and sit in the meeting and see what it's about. And if you like it, you can join. The meeting starts at 5:30. Like I said, we are bound to 1 hour at the most. So
beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Well, this next meeting, Tuesday, June 11th, get there before 5:30 so you can at least sit in and hear what's going on at Pig Minds and learn about the organization.
Yeah, we meet in the back room if you're familiar with Pig Minds. And I mean, the waitresses will certainly correct you.
So to be one of the 3 presenters, that has to come from a mentor or from a member that says, here's my suggestion this time.
Right. We try to keep even playing ground. We don't want you to bring the director of your charity that you're passionate about. We want you to speak from the heart. We don't expect you to have all the answers, financials and things like that. We don't expect that. We expect you to speak from the heart. As a matter of fact, one of our steering committee members, her daughter had cancer, and they worked with Nick's Wish in town, which gives, life-changing experiences to young adults who are battling cancer. And she came and, she spoke at one of our meetings about her personal experience, and, Nick's Wish won. So, I mean, or you can just look. We have members that said, well, I was looking around for a charity because I'd like to talk about a charity. And I found, Angelic Organics is a non-for-profit. So I would like to talk about that. So, you don't have to have all the information. It's only 5 minutes. You just have to talk about why you think we should give our money to the charity that you're talking about. So yes, you have to be a member. There's no fancy footwork or slideshows or anything like that involved.
Now, when I told Tom you were our guest today, the first question out of Tom's mouth was, what was your question about 100 women, Tom? What happens when you get to 100?
I don't. Oh, yeah. What happens when you get to 100? Does the 101st girl get kicked out or what? No, I'm kind of tongue in cheek. I don't think that's going to happen.
Beautiful problem. I'd love to deal with that problem. No, we just keep right on going.
Yeah.
We keep right on going because if 100 women giving $100, what is that? 10,000. But we have teams, so that really only counts as one vote. So we'll take it. Come on down. I hope we run out of room at Pig Minds. I really do.
That would be a nice problem.
It's a pretty good sized room back there, but I tell you what, it's very
nice. They've been so gracious. And if you've never been to Pig Minds, I'm married to a meat lover. This is a vegan restaurant, and he will go there every day of the week because you can't even tell that you're not eating meat.
There's some good stuff there.
There is some really good stuff. I go there on Thursday nights to play trivia, and Nicole is the host, and she is phenomenal. She's wonderful, such a sweetheart. I order and I'm a meat eater. I'm not a vegan. My daughter is. That's fine, but they have made such great strides with vegan food. The chili cheese tater tots are out of this world. They are. Oh my goodness, are they good? And I'm the biggest critic of food that is, quote unquote, fake cheese, fake meat, whatever. I'm very picky about it. They are phenomenal. And the nachos, you cannot tell
I love
the
their
difference.
Reubens. You don't know that it's not corned beef. It's, I mean, like I said, if my husband will eat there as a meat eater, it's something. Of course, the beer. I mean, who's not going to have a beer with their meal? They have got, it is a brewing.
Well, not me, but hey.
That's right. They have other things you can drink.
That's
right.
No, I drink coffee. You know what I do? I bring my own coffee in my little Charlie Brown.
I love your Charlie Brown mug.
They don't. Oh yeah, it's all about Charlie Brown. Yes. It's all about Snoopy.
I know. I take coffee everywhere. My husband calls me a coffee snob because we use an electric percolator, so that's the only coffee I like.
My problem is, and you have to listen really closely to this, I have peanuts envy.
Wow.
I said peanuts. Ending with a T.
All day.
I got a wow out of her.
Speaking of envy, I want to show off my shirt today.
Woo! We had a late rehearsal.
Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
Well, Kathy and I are in Legally Blonde together, and we open a week from Wednesday.
Kathy, are you L?
Yeah. I can't dance anymore. I'm 67 now. So, I mean, I'm happy that they let me sing.
She's L's offstage aunt who sings really well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, usually when we do this little soiree here with our guests, I'm always the oldest one. I'm not today.
I'm so
Thank
happy
God.
I
That's
give
good.
you the chance to not be the oldest.
I'm sorry. Man, that was rude. I'm going to go back and roll the tape back, and I'm just going to slap myself later. No, you know what? 67 and beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm 35 in my head. I mean, really.
You know what?
Yes.
There's something to that. I play softball. In fact, when we leave here, we're going to play practice. I'm the oldest guy on the team by far. I'm playing with my son. He's 32, and I'm still pretty doggone good. I'm the pitcher. I can hit. I can't run very fast, but I don't feel 61. I'm 61. I don't feel 61. I feel right. My mindset is that I'm in my 30s, maybe my 40s or something like that. I do have a little bit of get off my lawn in me, but
well, that's just wisdom. That's wisdom.
I've known
with age. That's right.
Right.
That's wisdom.
Well, I bring this up because Legally Blonde opens a week from this Wednesday, June 5th at Starlight Theater. And Kathy and I met at Starlight Theater. I believe the first time we met was 2018 when I was in Shrek with your granddaughters.
Oh, probably. The first show we were in was Mamma Mia.
We were in Mamma Mia together. Absolutely. Yeah. So I was trying to think of that last night. I was like, when did you and I actually meet and start to get to know each other? Right. But the very first show that I did with my kids was Shrek in 2018. And I completely thought, and this is honest truth, I thought we were going to do one show and that would be it. We were going to be done. We'd never, not because, not for any other reason though.
They got their hooks into your Gregors.
I've been out there since 1993. And now we're the third generation out there, but it just sucks you in. But okay, I would like to give a plug for that. I'm the volunteer coordinator at the theater, and if you would like to come and see a show for free, you can volunteer. We have all kinds of volunteer. You can come and usher, you can work concessions, you can help build sets, you can work in the costume shop. Just email me at rbcstarlight@gmail.com and we will hook you up.
There you go.
Very
RVC Starlight.
Well, at gmail.com.
RVC Starlight at gmail.com to volunteer.
Yes.
Boom.
I hope that's the
I think I
right.
spelled that right. So that's in the chat. And next week here on the program, Claire Dahlhauser, our awesome director, is going to be on the show to promote the Starlight season.
She's great. Yes.
So
Okay. Can I make a correction? It's rvcstarlighttheater.com.
okay.
Sorry. And we
Let me
spell
see.
theater wonky. You know that, right?
Let me see if I.
With a TRE, like the English
We're hoity
version.
there.
Yeah. Hoity-toity. That's right. That's right.
Sorry.
My mother-in-law would be happy about that.
Aw.
She's English.
Thanks, Greg.
RVC Starlight Theater. Okay, I think I got it right now.
I'm glad
There
you're
we
gonna,
go.
You're going to have a real treat with Claire. She is phenomenal. I mean,
I was trying to think too how many directors now I've worked with, because this is essentially my 7th season at Starlight. I'm counting the 2020 season because I still did a parody of the season we didn't do.
there you go.
But the different directors that we've worked with out there, Chris, your wonderful son-in-law, who's also the artistic director out there at Starlight, is famous for saying that the art is in the work. The art is in the work, everybody. Remember, the art is in the work. And I think that's one of those statements, one of those things that some people find it hard to wrap their head around, until you put yourself in the place of, say, a painter or a musician who's creating a new song. You know, when you're making a brand new song, how does that song come to be? You work on crafting it to make it sound like you want it to sound, right? The art is in the work, making it sound the way you want it to sound. The same is true of presenting a musical on stage.
Yeah.
And Claire is one of those creatives that is just, she's brilliant. She's just so fun to be with.
She's an award-winning director. We're so lucky to have her. I mean, she's great. And she's from the community. I love, Chris has really made an effort to build community at Starlight. And I love that. It's just a great place to be for families. It's like summer camp out there, isn't it, Greg? Your whole family's been out there, so you know.
It is. And our show is filled with adults, so we do have some adult humor floating around our cast. But in the Shrek cast with all the kids, we were very kid friendly, and it was a fun place to be with all ages. It was just a great show to do, and so really looking forward to kicking off the season. And June 5th is opening night at Starlight. All right, Tom, do you have trivia for us today?
Oh, I do. Kathy, did he forewarn you, or are we blindsiding? Oh, we are blindsiding her.
Go ahead. I can split.
Blame that guy to your immediate left. He didn't warn you ahead of time. No, we're good. We're good. You, being in the theater business, sort of, might have a good shot at this one here. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Ooh, that was a loud beep. Question number 1. In the movie Dumb and Dumber, what holiday-sounding name was Jim Carrey's character? Greg, let the guest answer first. Once again, in the movie Dumb and Dumber, what holiday-sounding name was Jim Carrey's character?
The only thing I can remember for Dumb and Dumber is our pets' heads are falling off. That's the best line.
Our pets' heads are falling off. I love that.
Wasn't his name Christmas Davis or something goofy like that?
Well,
is it Noel or who knows? We don't know.
It was Lloyd Christmas.
Lloyd
Christmas.
Lloyd, of course. Love that.
Yeah, Lloyd, Harry. Yeah, Harry and Lloyd. Harry Dunn and Lloyd Christmas. Greg, you get a half a point for that.
Thank you.
All right, question number 2. What
is
the capital of Montana?
I know this one.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Helena.
What do you say, Greg?
I'm going to say Billings.
It's Helena. She got it.
Okay.
My mom
well, she's winning.
Anyway, I know that.
All right, here we go.
1.5.
Third and final question. This is in the honor of 100 women who care. This is a women's question, so to speak. When did Mother's Day first become an official U.S. holiday? I have 3 options for you. Was it 1908, 1914, or 1920? 1908, 1914, 1920. When did Mother's Day become an official U.S. holiday?
I don't know this. I'm taking a shot in the dark, Kathy. So do you know?
I have a guess, but I don't really know.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with 1920.
I would agree.
1914.
Oh, that's
1914.
Right.
That's all right, Kathy. You still beat Greg. You won 1 point. He got a half a point.
Ooh, what do I get? The matching washer and dryer?
Nope.
Here comes Snoopy.
You get no. We're back to the trophy. I'm going to try and bring it down to you. You got to catch it.
Okay.
Catch it.
I
love it. I love it when a guest participates. Awesome job. That was good. My little
All
trophy
right, friends.
that cost 17 cents.
I love.
Check out 100
I bought
women who
6
care.
of them for like $1.50 or something. I don't know.
Oh, funny.
Again, that next event is June 11th
Yes.
at Big Mines.
Yes.
Get there about 5.
Right.
And do you have any clue who the 3 presenters will be this?
Oh no,
event?
we do not know until our members arrive and throw their name in the hat. We never know.
So the members show up at 5. They put their names in the hat with the organization they want to talk about.
Right.
And
you're off and running.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm sure it's a very inspirational and even entertaining evening for everyone in attendance.
Yes, it is. You probably know most of our steering committee members, and they're all, crazy. So we have a great time. It's a fun time.
Awesome.
Hey, Kathy, I got to ask you, when I do trivia, I will count down. We have 10 teams, and in 10th place, and in 9th place, all the way down to 3. That's the money round. 2 wins more money. 1 wins the big prize. Okay, so I put a lot of pomp and circumstance in it. I'm like, okay, and your winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Do you guys do that when it's counting down to who wins the overall, or do you just say, Sarah's Flowers wins?
Oh, yes, because there's
whatever.
always way too much talking. Because people are all ramped up. They've worked all day, or they've been, running around all day, and they're with their friends. And we just say who won. There's no, we just really want your money. So just write it, get out. That's our motto.
Here's the big check. And it makes everybody happy to hand that big check over and say, there you go.
Brightpoint, we presented to Brightpoint. But I mean, yes, we've raised almost 80,000. That's not chump change in our community. So I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, we'd love to see 100 women there. And, if you can clear your calendar, ladies, come on down. We'd love to have you. It's a fun hour.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, thank you for carving out time for us today,
Yeah,
Kathy.
it really is nice.
Much. And next time, could you just either do this later or not after a late rehearsal? In my bid.
I didn't sleep well last night.
We'll do it like 3 in the afternoon. Yeah.
I did not sleep
well.
well.
And your questions are going to be, what is your birthday? What is your favorite car? And what year did you graduate high school? Those are going to be your questions. You're going to ace it. You're going to kick his butt all over.
Right.
See you at rehearsal, Kathy.
Yeah. Have a great day.
Unless he hacked your computer and studies real hard.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
I want to get right to our guest and let her get on with her day. She's got a lot going on today, I'm sure. So, Vicki, welcome to the INCROWD815 podcast.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How is everything in your world this morning? Where are you at? I know you're not in the kitchen.
No, I'm at home today. Had a late night. Our oldest daughter flew into town last night and her flight was delayed over 3 hours.
Nice.
But the kitchen background is one of my projects.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's just start right there then. This kitchen background that you've got behind you right now is a project you did how long ago?
Wrapped it up last year.
Okay. So is this a local house?
It is. It is. It's a beautiful house in Belvedere that actually had some fire damage, and I worked with the restoration team to redesign because it had to be gutted. So we started from scratch.
Those are always sad, and yet at the end result ends up being pretty darn happy, doesn't it? Obviously, by looking at that picture.
Yeah, I mean, the project turned out beautifully, but of course, you always wish that people didn't have to go through a trauma like that in order to get to here. But
Right.
mhm.
Well, Urbane Design Studio is the name of your company. We like to start from the beginning, Vicki.
Okay.
So let's ask you first about yourself. Where did you grow up and go to high school, or did you do any college? What's Vicki's background that found herself running a design studio?
Yeah, sure. So I was born and raised in Chicago. I grew up by Wrigley Field, over by I think in that neighborhood. I drive by every once in a while. And the only building I still recognize as far as a business is an IHOP. That's over there. It's changed so much. But I grew up in Lakeview, but I went to school on the north side. So I went to private school. And my high school no longer exists. As a matter of fact, the name of my grade school doesn't exist the way it was either. And so I went to an all-girl Catholic high school called Good Counsel, and ended up staying there for a little bit. I did a office type of college thing for a little bit. Ended up moving eventually. Well, my mom moved out here to Rockford first, I should say that.
Okay.
With my siblings. So after I graduated, I stayed in the city. Then I came back here and I decided to finish school. And so I do have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Interior Design from Harrington College of Design. I did end up commuting back to the city for that. In between all those two things, I did also work for a construction company back in the day, but they did underground storage tanks. And I won't plug them because there's no reason, but they were phenomenal. My husband and my daughters know the name of that company because they were so important in my life. I had a lot of people that fed into me, and I learned a lot of things. I learned how to do accounts payable, accounts receivable. I did payroll. The guys in that shop were union, so I learned how to do that as well. But that was a really pivotal time for me because I learned how to not only do the office things for the business. I related to the guys in the field when they would come in, and yeah, it just laid down so many different, like a foundation for things that would then later on lead to me becoming an interior designer, working for 2 design firms, one of them here in Rockford, as an intern. And so before I went out on my own. So then when I did that, I just felt like I was pretty prepared to be able to do a lot of the different things that I needed to do.
Okay. So at some point you got the bug that said, I can do this myself. I can start my own company and my own business. Was there an event or a person or some specific place in time where you can say, that's when I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur and start my own business?
No, not necessarily. I guess part of that whole process too, my mom, when we were still in Chicago, she sold Mary Kay. And she was very good at it. My first job in high school was actually working for a market research company. And I did things such as I did cold calling, and I also filled focus groups. And so I was decent at it. And so I would, tell my mom about the stuff I was working on. And so then her director told her, you got to get your daughter on board and help you, with Mary Kay. And so my mom had me cold calling and I was setting appointments for her.
Nice.
And that was really good. But anyway, so she already had that spirit of wanting to do things. And I never thought of it that way. I mean, there were labels that I didn't even realize really belonged, you know, when I was that age. But I just saw what it was like if you could do things for yourself. And then my husband and I do have 3 daughters. And I just knew that it was not for me to be tied to someone else's rules of what a 9 to 5, which I knew was never really a 9 to 5 would look like.
Mhm.
And so I wanted the flexibility, which is not easier. I mean, flexibility in my life, especially when the girls were younger, meant that I worked during the day when they were in school, and then I carved out mom hours. And then when they were in bed or my husband could take over, I went back to working and, you know, did the computer stuff. And I've had many 2 a.m., 3 a.m. morning where I'm just wrapping up work. So it's not that it's easier, but it's at least aligned with what I wanted my family life to look like.
It's on your terms. I mean, that's what I think that's what so many people who don't have the entrepreneurial bug don't understand about people like us. You know,
it's a lot of sacrifices, but the benefit, you know, it's what is important, you know. And I just decided that for me, trying to be really, really present for every single second of my kids' lives is really the most important thing for me.
Yeah, the sacrifice of what it takes to own and operate and run a successful solopreneurship. You know, I do you currently have any employees, or have you had any employees for Urbane Design besides yourself over the years?
I've had people come and go. It was always under the understanding that it was a part-time temporary thing, more like in the summer. I actually am very seriously considering right now. I have a follow-up interview with someone, and I've been talking to a couple people. I think it's time.
And that's a big step. That's a big step. I know in the real estate world, and like at Keller Williams, we have this book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And the first thing they say when you're ready to build a team is you got to hire the right admin person. Because what most people want to do is get their first buyer's agent and think that that's going to, you know, grow their business. But without the systems in place, you know, having that admin person to run the systems, you're setting yourself up for a lot of headache and heartache. And so it's a great book. It probably, I don't know how much it would have pertained to running a design studio, but it might be helpful. And you mentioned Mary Kay. Did Mary Kay, the organization, did mom listen to the tapes? Were there cassette tapes and
I heard those all the time. When she went down to Dallas and did the events, she would listen to the books in Spanish, and then she would buy another copy in English and give them to me. So I was already, again, not even thinking that, but obviously my mom is just an amazing person because she knew she was feeding, like she knew what she was doing, but I didn't get it. And she would tell me, I want you to read it so we can talk about it, which is what I do with my girls. But it was huge. And because of that, I mean, it just set the tone. I've always read different kinds of business books. You know, I have them on Audible. It's part of, I love learning. I love learning constantly. I also love teaching people. But so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, we want to talk about your event here coming up a little bit, but before we get into all things INCROWD815 and the networking event coming up at the end of May, your studio, I'm going to put up your website here real quick so people can see how beautiful your website is. urbanedesignstudio.com. Interior design and window treatments. I know when we met over at your office there a couple weeks ago, you were showing me all these different patterns, fabric patterns, and color palettes, and all these different things. Is there one thing that you can kind of pinpoint and say, this is my favorite thing to do, this is where I really know I thrive, and or is it pretty a broad spectrum? What's your focus at Urbane Design Studio? So
it's tough with interior design because it would be an easy answer to say that it's just, like kitchens and bathrooms or doing people's living rooms or bedrooms, but I take a different approach. I do a lot of different types of projects, but my focus where I really thrive and what I love is I like to help people design spaces when there are multiple generations using it. So I talk about its interior design, combining beauty and function for all generations, as you see on my website. And I really have there's a lot of heart behind that, because when I started my business, I was doing basements and bathrooms and space planning and things like that before I even went into the soft goods. But something that was really pivotal is that my father-in-law moved in with us for a little while. He had fallen. He lived on his own after my mother-in-law passed away. And so he ended up needing surgery, and he was completely, off balance just from breaking his arm. And so he ended up needing therapies and then moved in with us. And then living with us, we had to make adjustments, right? So what does that look like? Because his needs were so different from me and my husband, and then having even little girls, so we're introducing this third generation. And then I had to think about his safety when he moved back home, because he did not want to move in with us permanently. He really wanted to stay in his home. So then I was looking at, okay, so it's not necessarily aging in place for him, but it was making certain adjustments. And then it happened again. Then he had another surgery. And so again, I was, forced to look at this. So I would say that I really do, because like I said before, I like teaching people. So I like working with professionals who are overwhelmed. Like they know, a lot of people that I work with, because it's a luxury service, they're professionals in their own businesses in their own right. So they know, they're smart, but they also know, those of, when you're smart, you also know where your knowledge begins and ends. Like I know so much about something.
What you don't know.
People, so there are people who will say like, I'm a capable person, but I'm overwhelmed by this and I don't really want to learn this whole thing. And so I like explaining to people, I think we should do this because, a lot of times also there'll be two very intelligent people who have different opinions and maybe a little stubborn. And so then I like to be able to say, I think that this is a great idea over here. This is a great idea over here. And this is why. Like, I think this is what makes sense for you guys based on who lives in your home and how you're using it and how much effort you want to put into keeping it, tidy and, all the things. So I'm sorry. I guess that was kind of a very long answer, but I like working with people who who have multiple generations, who have that pain point, who like to be educated, but also respect the professional that, I'm going to explain things to them.
Well, they have a sense of urgency because they know they have a need and they want to get it done before too long. Those, and those are my favorite clients too, working in real estate with home buyers, the people that are, they know what they know and they know what they don't know. And they're glad to receive a professional's advice and consultation. Cause I see you being a lot like me in the similar personality. We're not pushy. We're not really enjoying the sales process as much as we enjoy the consultation process. And I don't like selling people stuff. I don't fist bump and high five because I made a sale. No, I fist bump and high five because that person had a need and I helped consult them to fulfilling the need.
Yes.
That's what
so again,
I was going to add something. Pictures are very nice because when you've got the conflict between husband and wife, neither of them really wants to give. And that's a whole different problem for a whole different day. But you come in there and you can show them pictures and say, look, picture this here. And then all of a sudden, oh, goodness, I like that. Yes, I like that. Now you've just solved a huge problem. And you may have solved other problems you didn't even know you were solving. But pictures and a body of work.
I love that you brought that up because that is something that actually has been really great with clients as well, is that I can provide renderings so that they can see what things will look like before. And actually what you're looking at right now, that's really old. It's come a long way because the software has come a long way. So I should probably update that. But there's really great renderings now that I'm able to show my clients. And one of the things that they've enjoyed is it was really only in the last few years where I set up my office. I have my dual monitors and I have my beast of a computer. So I'm able to do a lot of things rather quickly on that computer versus like on my laptop. And so when they come into the office and I'll show them something and they'll, we'll talk back and forth. I'm like, well, I was really kind of hung up on maybe, this or that. It's like, well, let me show you what that would look like. And if it's a small enough fix, I can just pull up the software, make a tweak. They're watching like, wow, that's awesome. Okay. And again, going back to the sales, I don't feel, I'm not money motivated. I'm relationship motivated. I like helping people. I like educating them and I like making their lives better. So when they will see things and they get the point, they trust me, and so it's great to be able to have the software too and show them those changes visually.
That's cool.
I love what you just said about I'm not money motivated, I'm relationship motivated. I believe that 100% because I feel I am as well. Greg and I both have DJ businesses, and I think Greg will tell you the same thing. We like to see the smile on people's faces as much as anything else. It's not about making money. It doesn't always have to be. You're going to get paid, obviously, for what you do. But here's the thing that gets me the most. I used to watch this TV show called, American Home Improvement or whatever. It was with Ty Pennington on Sunday nights at 7:00. And they have all right, move that bus. So I call it the move the bus moment. And you get to experience that. What is that? What kind of a charge do you get out of that when they see their house?
I remember that show, and I remember actually crying many, many times watching that as well, because it is so overwhelming.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
I guess really for my clients, I offer the like a move-in day, right? Like a showcase day. I have a few clients that will do it, like depending on the project, right? So like if it's like a living room or a bedroom, a space like that we can close off, that works out great because I'm able to, get everything done, have my installers come in, set everything up, and then do a reveal day. Unfortunately, it doesn't typically work out like that with construction because they're in it all the time. And honestly, I guess most of my clients are either living through the construction or they're very much wanting to, they want to monitor it a lot. So I can't really kick them out. I will say, though, I get those small wins really throughout the project, which is, I love that. I have heard different phrases. People will laugh because they'll say, like, Vicki, you really geek out on this, or Vicki, I just like, you're more excited than I am. and it's true. I get excited when we unpack lighting. I know it's going to be beautiful. Like I know it. And I'm so happy that they trusted me and believed me. And then stuff comes in and it is just as gorgeous or more than I just knew in my head, that it was going to be, just because of the finishes. We're picking things off of like a chip that's like 1 inch by 2 inch, for a metal finish. And I'm showing them photos, and then it comes in and that crystal is heavy, and it's just wonderful. And then when it does get installed, I get very excited and my clients get excited. And I wouldn't say that there's like tears, but there's definitely a lot of joy, satisfaction, relief that it comes together. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking forward to being in your space and at your place on May 30th, the last Thursday of this month, for our INCROWD815 networking group, our monthly get-together events. And your space, I had forgotten this until you brought it up like last week. This used to be the Great Escape building.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So it's gone. It's gone through some iterations. So I'm up on the second floor. And I guess after it being the Great Escape building, when they moved and just down the road over by Costco, our building became an office building. And then the space where I'm at on the second floor, it used to be a calling center for a little while. So there's a lot of like little perimeter offices. And so I I took two and combined them and made my space there. Yep.
So Perryville and Riverside, the northeast corner there. You've got some. It's a little bit of a challenge to get to because that's a really busy corner. So for those who come to join us on May 30th, just know that you're going to be really entering on McFarland Road. I guess you could kind of turn in if you're going westbound on Riverside.
Yes.
There is an
entrance to the parking lot. You know, you'd be looking for the sign where it says Canyon Flooring, and it's that building. And then also if you come in like from the north, turn where the Arby's is, and there's a little road called Back Street. That's the street that takes you literally
back. All right. I'm sorry.
That's exactly where I went. Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. So so that would take you right into our parking lot as well. Otherwise, off of McFarland, it's behind. It's a little street on the other, just past the gas station.
Okay. All right. So accept the challenge. Come and join us on May 30th. Hang out with us and meet some new folks. We're going to be doing something that we have not yet done before, as far as I know, at an INCROWD815 event. And I already sent these to Vicki, but I didn't tell her that I was going to reveal some stuff today, because I just decided this morning that I'm going to put up on the screen the INCROWD815 Get to Know Bingo card. I'm sure someone else has done this before, but this was a revelation to me a while ago when we were trying to plan different things, fun things to do for the 2024 INCROWD events. And this was on my short list of things I was hoping that we would do. And when I sat down with Vicki to plan here last month, she said, I was thinking we could play that bingo game. And I was like, yes, I've got a reason to make it now. And I've got it. I'm still revising this page right here. It's got some scratch on here that I'm updating what we put together already. But you see 25 squares on a bingo card. And in order to get a square filled, you've got to fill the other side of the page with somebody's name. So here's a couple of examples for everybody to know what to expect at our INCROWD event on May 30th. The center square, number 13, that's basically your free space, because all you got to put in is your name and number on your card, and you get that space.
What if you don't remember your name and number?
You're out of luck, Tom. You're out of luck. But for example, here, right next to the 13 here, if you're going for the diagonal, box number 17, find somebody at the INCROWD event that has adopted a pet, for example, through Paws. And if you find someone who's adopted a pet, you write their name and their pet's name on the little line here on the worksheet here, and then you get to scratch off box number 17. Oh, awesome. Okay. What's box number 21? I want to start completing this diagonal. Well, box number 21 says find someone who's been in a hot air balloon. Can you find someone at your networking event that's actually been and taken a ride in a hot air balloon? Find that person, write a name, and we're gonna limit people to 2 boxes per name. So if Vicki and I are talking and she tells me she's been in a hot air balloon and she has a mother that loves to bake, I've got 2 squares filled with Vicki's name, and I got to go find somebody else now because I've already got two boxes with her name tied. Does that make sense? Am I tracking with me here? So
yeah, it sounds great.
We're going to play a little get to know bingo at our networking event May 30th, and I'm really excited to meet some new people. We've already this year had at each event a handful of new people come and join us and check things out, what we're doing for INCROWD. I think we had 6 or 8 new people come to Mactown Construction last month that had never been to an INCROWD event before. So yay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're connecting folks. And anything else you'd kind of like to reveal or tease for your Urbane Design Studio INCROWD event coming up here May 30th?
Well, I am going to have an area set up for photos, so please be ready for that. I really just want to make it a really fun night. We're going to do photos, food, and bingo, as you already said. I really like to be around people and chat and just have a good time. So I'm hoping that it's going to feel like a lively party.
Yeah.
more than anything. And then I do also, is this the time that I should mention the nonprofit?
Absolutely. Yeah. Which not-for-profit would you like to focus on?
Okay, so we're going to be supporting Community Life Center of Rockford. And they're a fantastic organization in Rockford that they have a day center that helps people from, from age 5 to 105. So it's really great. And so they are a community center where they have people of ages come in. They have a great after school program. And what we're going to focus on specifically is that they have their summer camp extravaganza 2024 this year for kids 5 through 16 years old. The camp is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And what they're looking for is if people want to buy things and bring them in, then they're looking for anything that would help them for summer camp. Juice boxes, games, jump ropes, hula hoops, crafting items. They also said they have always a need for video games for a PS4 or an Xbox 360. And then, of course, money donations are always helpful to be able to purchase those things as well. And we are going to hear a little bit about them that night as well.
Well, I'm going to put in the chat the link to their website here, communityliferockford.org, so you can learn more about them and consider donating to all that they're doing at the Community Life Center of Rockford. Very cool. Did you say will they be able to have someone join us on May 30th?
They will. Bethany Simmons will be there from the organization. And just so you know, their Facebook page is a lot more active. It shows, locally all the things that they're doing, and their Facebook page. I have it right here too.
Yep.
It's Community Life Center of Rockford. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to copy and put that in the chat as well. Make it easy for people to find. If you're watching our Facebook page or our YouTube page, you'll get the chat notices there. And by Facebook, I mean our actual INCROWD815 podcast Facebook page. For those who are on the INCROWD networking group page, for some reason, stuff doesn't go connecting the same way as our actual podcast page does, because it's a group and not like a business or whatever. They run things a little bit differently. But anyway, they've got this event here coming up, as you mentioned, June 17th through August 16th. Field trips and lunch and tutoring and all kinds of stuff that the Community Life Center of Rockford is doing. So very, very cool. Looking forward to meeting Bethany and hearing all about what they have to offer to the Rockford community as well. So thanks for bringing them into the INCROWD there, Victoria.
You're welcome. I'm happy to do it.
Anything that we didn't ask you about today that you wanted to make sure we talked about before we let you go?
Only that, I really do love working with people of all size projects. And if anyone is feeling stuck on design, I know that there's a lot of different levels and a lot of different budgets. I don't only work with high-end clients. I do also help people with smaller things. So whether it's because they're getting ready to sell their house, or if they've just purchased a new one, I love just helping people, when it's selling their house, I'm happy to help them. I work with the realtor and the homeowner because we talk about who the target market is, and it's no longer really about what that owner wants or what they like. It's really about, let's hit that demographic. Once they buy their house,
that's wise.
Yeah. Once they buy their house, then I'm excited to help them make it their own and really make things, work for their family. And I also just help people if they're just stuck. Some people just love the creativity. They love doing the design, and they just say, like, it's fun for me, except I get overwhelmed. And so I do have in place already systems so that I can help people just for a couple of hours, and I can be the person that says, you're on a great track here. I might reconsider this over here because of the lighting that you have. This looks great in all the photos on Instagram, but you don't have all those windows. So how about if we, you did this and, XYZ. So I do have that ability to work with people like that as well. And I love doing that. And I also sell window treatments, and I do help people with some furniture and rugs, mirrors, accessories, things like that.
All right. Well, Tom's got some trivia for us before we actually let you go.
Sure.
But
All right.
you hit on something very important. It was because like my wife and I, we're those people too that we both like so many things. We need someone like you in our life when we make a change to our aesthetics and what we do for our, because we like so many things. To focus on one is a challenge for us. So, next time we make a big decorating change in our house, we'll probably be contacting you.
I love that. Yeah.
All right, Tom, what do you got for us trivia wise?
It's better than Bruno with a sledgehammer, right?
That's right. Nope.
That's
no
right.
Guys.
All right. So Victoria, whenever I have somebody new on here and I'm doing trivia for them, I try to gauge the age, and then and I'm not asking you for your age. I'm assuming, I'm guessing, and I'm not even going to say what I'm guessing. So I changed.
I want to hear what
first
you're
questions.
guessing. I so want to hear what you're guessing.
Oh,
There's
are
no
you
wrong
kidding me?
answer.
I've been married for a long time. I know how this movie ends.
You said you have 3 daughters.
I'm not hung up on it. I'm not hung up on it like other
All right.
people. But
I'm going to say, I hope I'm going to say 42.
I like that. Thank you. Yeah,
Okay,
there's no
good.
wrong number.
All
Did you
right.
take a few years off? I'll be 47 in a couple months.
Okay. All right. Well, I was figuring somewhere around 40 based on 3 daughters. If you had your first one when you were, say, 22 or 24 or whatever, you didn't say what the ages were. So, and then I kind of went by. Anyway, just a complete guess. And I always guess a little lower, maybe. So,
So you might have been spot on.
I might have been. No, there's no way I would have said 47. There's no way. Because you don't look 47. You look around 38, 39, 40. That's why I figured I'd stick around the 40. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you both questions. You're actually going to get 4 questions.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Here's the one I changed out of. All right. Here we go. What does the O in ELO stand for?
Ooh, I do know this one.
Yeah, I know you do. So you cannot answer. What does the O in ELO stand for? First and foremost, do you know what ELO is?
No.
It's a band.
Music. It's a music group.
Band. Don't bring me down. Okay.
You got me running, going on in my
So like that's like the one thing. Like, oh man, I'm not good with music trivia.
Okay, that's cool. I will. Greg, go ahead.
Let me see if you can finish this. The band is called Electric Light Orchestra.
Electric Light. Okay, so you're not a fan of ELO. They were really big in the 70s and kind of big in the 80s too. And they've done a lot of touring. They're still way out there. They're still out there.
I might know the words to all their songs, but I don't know.
Oh, I guarantee you know the words and you can sing along. If we were to play Don't Bring Me Down, great song. Okay, so here was your alternate question. We'll skip that first one. You're 0 for 0 right now.
Okay.
What is Taylor Swift's favorite number?
Oh, guys, no.
Okay.
You don't know this one?
No.
Even I know this, but I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not an anti-Swiftie, but I'm not really.
I'm not an anti-Swiftie, but I am kind of a Swiftie.
She's the center square in our bingo card. Vicky.
Yes.
She's 13. She loves the number 13.
Because her birthday was December 13th, 1989. Okay, so we're music guys. We're in this biz, so
yeah. I'm sorry.
If you had trivia questions about building materials and all that, we'd go over 3. So, all right, here we go. How many stories? You should know this one. And there's 2 different answers depending on which website you look at, because one counts penthouse and this and that, and one doesn't. How many stories does the Willis Tower have? Formerly the Sears Tower. Come on, Chicago girl.
I literally took a class on the history of Chicago, and I love it, and I love giving Chicago trivia myself.
Well, now you can add this one to your repertoire.
I got to guess, but I'm sure I'm wrong.
Is it? Oh, I don't remember. Hancock is 96, right? But I don't remember the Sears Tower. Shoot.
I was gonna guess like 84.
Well, you know it. No, she's closer. Keep going. Think it through here. Because it's obviously more. It's
taller. I know. Yeah, because if Hancock is 96, I mean, it's got to be more. So I don't know. Was it 101 or something? I honestly don't remember.
Well, technically it's 110. But if you look at a certain website, it'll say 108 because those are the active floors. And then the other one is like a storage floor and like a penthouse or something like that. So 108 or 110 is acceptable. All right, question number 3. I almost feel bad because this is somewhat obscure.
Come on, let's give it a shot.
You thought I was going to be better at trivia. I get it. I'm sorry. I'm not great at this.
Well, it's okay. It's all right. All right. What is the capital of the state of Washington?
The state of Washington. That would be, oh God. I only studied with my kids like 3 different ages, right? Is it Seattle?
It's either Olympia or Spokane. I'm gonna go with Spokane. Ah, darn it.
It's really? Olympia.
I'm so embarrassed. This is terrible.
Okay. No. Don't even.
Are we just gonna cut this off of the video?
Sometimes.
What is the name of the street just north of Urbane Design Studio? Back Street.
How about this one? This is your bonus question to save it all.
Oh my.
This is for 3
what
points.
What is my middle name?
Where do the Chicago Cubs play?
Say it again.
Where do the Chicago Cubs play?
Yeah,
in Wrigley Field. Yes.
Guys,
see, you've redeemed yourself. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. This is, I think, a really good trivia question, and you should know this one. The Chicago Cubs ended a drought when they won their World Series. You know what year it was? Oh my goodness.
No.
All right, no sports.
Oh man.
All right. Well, we know.
Can we talk about like
2016 when they won
it?
When all of the furniture in a room is in its proper place, there's a 2-word phrase that people like to use to describe the feeling of that being in the proper place. What are those 2 words?
When furniture is...
Yeah, that's what I was
feng
going
shui.
for. I don't know. I probably worded that weird, but the feng shui.
Feng shui is a very specific type of design too. Yes.
Okay. Help. Yeah. What is that? It's a Japanese term, isn't it, or something like that?
It is, and actually, and some designers are certified, and they're a little bit better versed in feng shui because it has there's a lot of nuances, such as like the energy of how you lay out your bed versus where the doorway is, and so.
I've heard that if you have your bed going north and south as opposed to east and west, the poles or whatever that pull. I've heard that, and I don't buy into any of it. Mostly because it's too much for me.
I have a confession
around my brain.
I have a confession to make on that. Tom's gonna be disgusted with me now after you said that. That I actually rearranged my bedroom so that my bed now faces east. And I heard something. I don't know if that was a feng shui thing or what it was, but for the long time when we first moved into this house, our bed faced north, and there's a feeling. I can't describe it, but there's a different feeling when you're sleeping in the direction that the earth is moving.
Interesting.
Mine faces east. And I don't feel like I sleep very well at all.
So to be honest, like there are different designers who have different thoughts on that. I am much more about not so much the direction of the bed as far as like with the earth access, but more of in relation to where your doors and windows are because of natural lighting. Right. And also just the circulation of the room. So I base it
natural
more on that.
light. That is a big deal. So
lighting is all of it.
Come to Urbane Design Studio, ask all the questions, meet some new people, May 30th. In fact, schedule an appointment to meet Vicki before that. Go up there before the event and learn all about that, what she does, and get plugged into all things Urbane Design Studio. Vicki, thanks for coming on today, and we'll see you on May 30th.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, you guys.
Have
You
a
too,
good
you guys.
one.
We need to learn more about our guests because they are in the 815. They have an 815 not-for-profit foundation, but I don't know a lot of their history. Mark and Jamie Cooney are coming on with us now. Good morning to you, Coonies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us today on the show. And I know you've got a guest that you've invited to come along with you too. We're going to bring him on in just a second, but first we want to learn a little bit about you folks. Did you both grow up here in the 815? Tell us about your backstory a little bit.
Yeah, I'm Jamie. I'm Ryan's mom. I grew up in Pecatonica and lived there till I was about 19 years old, and then moved to the big metropolis of Rockford to experience the city life, and then started attending some softball games out at Forest Hills, and that's where I met Mark.
Okay.
And I grew up in Michigan and moved over here for work about 35 years ago, and just started working, lived up in the Roscoe-Rockton area when I first moved in, and then I met Jamie at softball games when she was pregnant with Ryan.
Mm-hmm. I was pregnant.
Okay, cool. So you guys have basically been around this area for a long time. Yep. And started this foundation honoring your late son Ryan. And I guess do we want to get into this backstory we'll bring Brian in a little bit. Let's start at the beginning. Tell us about Ryan and who he was and a little bit about his backstory.
Okay. Well, Ryan, he grew up in Rockton, Illinois, and attended the Rockton Grade School, Whitman Post, Stephen Mack, and then, of course, Hononegah. He was a 3-sport athlete, very active in the community. As far as personality, I'm his mom, so he was the best kid in the world. But he was enduring and loving and caring and extremely compassionate. He went to Southwest Minnesota on a football scholarship for about a half a year.
Mustangs? Was that the Mustangs?
Yep.
You know why I know that?
Why?
When my son played with a kid who played football and got a scholarship at Southwest Minnesota.
Okay. Who was that?
Jeff Polsine.
Oh, that doesn't sound familiar.
Jeff, I'm guessing is probably a couple years behind Ryan. I'm guessing. Okay. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure Ryan spent more time at the casino than he did at anybody's house. Right? Why he ended up coming home.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and he got redshirted, and he had a lot of extra time, and he wasn't used to that.
No. Jeff was a crazy awesome linebacker. So I think he played all 4 years out there.
Okay.
But, so Ryan comes home, and where do we go from there?
Yeah, so he went to Rock Valley and went up to Platteville and tried that, and just decided school wasn't for him, and enlisted into the Marines. And actually, it'll be 10 years ago this April that he went out to California to be a Marine.
Okay. So yeah, he definitely was older than Jeff and Kenny. So he goes out to California, does the boot camp thing.
Yeah.
They plug him into where they think he's going to be fulfilled and useful. The Marine thing, I'm assuming, I don't know this, is something like the Army thing, right? The boot camp and the assessment tests and saying, okay, here's 2 or 3 possible career tracks for you. Did they let them choose, or do they just put them in they determine if you're a square or circle and put you in the right hole?
That's exactly it. Yeah, you go up to MEPS in Milwaukee and take a bunch of tests, and they tell you this is what you're going to do once you get through boot camp, and this is where you'll be stationed and go to school. And originally he was going to end up in Missouri and do logistics, but he got the opportunity to go in early. We didn't really know a lot about it, so he accepted going in early, and he ended up at 29 Palms, and he was did the Amtrackers. He became a crew chief on an Amtracker.
Okay.
So that's what they take the guys from the boat to the land in. So everybody's in the container, and then it's basically a can that floats to shore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When you said Amtrak, I'm thinking
No.
Right. But those are the transports that we see probably from those like World War II videos back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Storming the beaches.
Amphibious assault vehicle. I was at AAV. Hey, and you notice our lights blinking.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you had an idea, Mark.
Yeah. Instead of raising my hand, I had the light going off.
Yeah, there you go. You got several ideas in the last 30 seconds.
Would that be a good morning, Ryan sign? Is that what?
Yes, probably Ryan saying, "Hey, I'm still here." So
yeah, it's him reminding me Brian is waiting in the wings, and we gotta hear from Brian too. So I'm gonna bring Brian on. Brian King, you mentioned was a friend of Ryan's back in the day. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us this morning. Having known Ryan for how many years?
Since we were probably about 10 years old. So
okay.
Quite something.
Let's go ahead and give Brian the floor here a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your memories of Ryan and growing up with Ryan in Stephen Mack Middle School and all the stuff you guys did.
Yeah, so originally from the Rockton area as well. So grew up with Ryan going to Stephen Mack and Movement Post, and then onto Hononegah. Played every sport with Ryan, throughout school, and then travel sports as well. We met in 3rd grade playing football for the Rockton Lions back in the day, and Cooney was our coach. So from early stage, Ryan and I just became very close and pretty much inseparable. We were always together, whether it was summer break, during the school year, practices, weekends, whatever it was, we were kind of always together. Miss Jamie always jokes it was always Brian and Ryan. It was, kind of tandem people that were always together. So then after high school, we kind of went our separate ways. I went to University of Wisconsin-Madison for a couple of years as Ryan went to the Marine Corps route. And then I came to downtown Chicago, where I still live today. But Ryan and I still stayed close, throughout this whole time. And whenever we had the chance to get together, we'd always meet up, and we'd still go on vacations together. Grew up going on vacations with the Coonies. Brian grew up going on vacations with my family as well, going to football camps, just kind of all over the board. So I've known the Coonies for a very, very long time.
And I think this is really important. I'm glad we're having this conversation the way that we're having this conversation. I hope you guys see the value in this too, mainly because what Ryan went through, it appears to me, was a very normal childhood that all of us can relate to.
Yep, absolutely.
All of us can relate to, and to have him go through what he went through and end up how he ended up. It's important to see that mental health is complicated. It's very complicated. It's and we're experiencing that in Rockford this week. We're hearing, the stories of the tragedies that happened here this week in our own community again, of what I think we can all pretty much agree boils down to mental health awareness, mental health of it. What are people thinking? What are people doing? How are people being helped? How are they not being helped? And when you decided to start this foundation, I'm assuming, Jamie, were you the catalyst of that, or was there something else that kind of said, let's start this foundation?
Actually, I was not. Not. And I was like, Mark, if you want to do this, you can go right ahead and do it. I'm going to sit in the background and watch. So that's where we bring Brian and another young man, Ryan Sadler, into the picture. They reached out to Mark in December of 2021 and asked if he would be okay if they did a golf outing to memorialize Ryan. And he's like, yeah, of course. How do we do this? Okay. And then they figured out, you know what, we need to set up a foundation to funnel the money through it so everybody knows it's legit and where the money's going. And I'll let you guys take it from there. So I was not the catalyst, but I'm like the #1 supporter.
She was a great supporter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a good point.
Ryan Sadler and BK came and said, "Hey, let's do this. What do you think? What do we do?" And I said, "Okay, well, we're going to need some help." And we got a bunch of people together, and about 4 or 5 other guys, and it was amazing the support we got from the community. It was amazing. It was like, you would love all that support for the vets as they're going through what they're going through when they're going through it, and they don't realize it's there, because there's people that go to Swedes and Rosecrans and all those other places to get help, but if sometimes you look at somebody and you say, "Man, that guy's crazy," but you don't ask him if he needs help.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask him if there's anything I can do for you. But that's how it started, and those are what we were thinking, and how we can get help to local people. And BK's been great, and so is Rhino.
Well, I think the #1 question most people ask when they come across a foundation like yours is, what does the money do? I'm going to donate. I'm going to drop a few bucks into this Donate Now tab here on your website, and it's going to go somewhere. Where do you see the greatest impact for the money donated to RDM Foundation?
BK, you want to talk about the dogs?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first year, just take a history lesson quick. So when we first started in 2022, our first initial donation just went to Rockton American Legion and Mission 22. And then last year, with last year's donations, we want to expand to a broader reach outside of those 2 organizations. So we found a organization that trains service dogs in Lyons, Illinois. Still the local general area around Rockford. So they're an organization that train and sponsor service dogs for ex-military people, so for all veterans. So they help train the veteran themselves as well as the dog, just to live your everyday life. And those are their companions. So they go through the training program together, opposed to some other organizations where they train the dog and then give the dog to a veteran. The veteran doesn't know how to adapt or how to kind of work with that dog, because every dog and every veteran is unique and has various reasons why they need a service animal. So they work with the veteran and the dog themselves to kind of figure out what's best for their situation. So that's our biggest organization that we're giving to now, is sponsoring these service dogs for more service members to receive animals.
Okay. So you see yourself as an organization to support other organizations, which I think is great.
Yeah. So really focusing just on organizations that help mental health and just suicide awareness.
Okay.
What our goal is eventually, like I always say, we're kind of in the infant toddler stages of the foundation, as the board tries to figure out where we really want to have the biggest impact. About a year ago, we decided we really want to stay local and help local veterans. And maybe eventually, grow into that and get bigger and spread our wings. But right now, we're looking for other organizations to support, but then set up our website and start reaching out to other people. Well, if you need help, we're going to have information on our website. We kind of teamed up with it's called Veterans Bridge Home out of North Carolina. They're very, very open into helping us setting something up like that. In this area, we just haven't gotten there yet. One, because all the board members and volunteers still work full time. And as you can see, Ryan, was 28 when we lost him. He'd be 31 now. And all his friends that are involved in this are young, getting married, starting their families. So they're very busy. So we're trying to make it so it's a balance for everybody, and it doesn't become another job for them. We want it to come from the heart and not burden people with this, because we try to look at it as what would Ryan want? Ryan would want balance. Ryan would want people to be totally happy.
Simple.
While helping other people. Yeah, simple.
Yeah. Every time the subject comes up of the suicide statistics of those who leave the military, and it's just heartbreaking. It's so sad to see how so many young people, with good intentions and trying to serve and find themselves and find the career track, and for all manner of different reasons, end up, taking their own lives and finding themselves in some kind of hopeless place. Thankfully, organizations like yours, supporting other organizations, are out there trying to make a difference and to make sure that these young people know there is purpose for them after the military. Even if they don't find their niche in the military, they can still find it out of the military when they're done serving. I know when we talked earlier, Mark, that this year, you said this year's golf outing is already sold out. Is that correct?
That is correct. We've got 160 golfers lined up already. We have 40 volunteers that'll be helping us out. We're looking for donations and baskets if you'd like to donate, things that we could, raffle off for people. Last year, I think we had close to 45 baskets that we raffled off. So it's really a good time. We do dinner at the Legion. If you would like to go to the dinner, maybe not the golf outing, I think, Brian, we still have some tickets available for that. Some space available where you can just pay for the dinner and come enjoy the company.
So there's still space for that? Maybe?
Yeah, there's still space for people to come to dinner. Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to put the link to the website here in the chat so people can easily find where that is. And then see if I can also copy the Facebook page here and put that in the chat as well, so people can find your Facebook page really, really easily. So this event sold out. That's pretty awesome. I mean, that's gotta warm your heart to know that you put the word out there and it's already sold out here. And it's not till June.
Yeah, we've never. I think the first year we went public and went out and started finding golfers, but the second and third year, everybody's come back. We have basically the same people coming back every year. We get a couple different people, but we've never, the last 2 years, we haven't opened it to the public because we were just full.
Yeah. Well, you know what some clubs have done? They've gone to using 2 courses or doing 2 days.
No.
It's as complicated as it already is. So we started out with 72 golfers and went to 144 the first year without even thinking twice. So
I want to thank Cassie over at Mactown Construction. She's the one that connected me with you guys to connect and have you on the podcast here today. So those who do want to still contribute to this can still donate. There's a donate button on the website. If you have something that you want to donate to the silent auction type items, that's available too. Is there anything else that we're not asking you that you want to make sure we talk about today? Any details or other events after the golf outing? Anything that I might be missing that you want to make sure we throw out there?
I mean, we're looking to do other events. You mentioned one the other day, something that we can go look at, whether it's a bowling thing or the axe throwing thing like you talked about. We're going to try to continue to do things like that. But like Jamie said, we're just trying to figure it out right now and what we can do and not overburden people with trying to help us out. So,
yeah, we live in a very generous community. So it's really cool that Rockford does tend to rally around legitimate needs. So I think if you keep the discussion going, I think you'll see someone that'll want to organize a bowling fundraiser for you guys, or axe throwing out of big timber or something like that. That'll just get people out to support your cause.
That would be awesome.
What were you going to add, Brian? I think
Oh, no, you're good.
They're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that covers all of our bases today. So if someone does want to volunteer for you, you don't have any room for people to volunteer at this event this year? You're already full.
At this time, we're already full. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Which is a good problem to have. But we always take lists for next year. If there's people that want to contribute in any way or help out, we can always keep your name and remember for next year and reach out at that time.
Waiting list for volunteers. Tom, this might be a first for us in 4 years. that we've put the call out for volunteers,
Yeah.
and the organizers are saying, "Oh no, hold on, we're good."
No, yeah, we don't need any more. Just still send some money though. Send some money. Money's always good because
The money in the baskets. Yeah, that'll work, right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Having the donation baskets is really our main source of income. That's where the golfers, that's where they put all their money towards the day of, and that's how we raise all the money that we do to be able to give to other organizations.
yeah.
Yeah.
And think of it this way too: money. For somebody to send $20, $50, $100, it's a foot in the door. Now you're familiar with the organization. Now the next time it comes up, oh yeah, that was a great organization. I donated last year. I'm going to do more this year. It helps to raise awareness. So, folks, if you've got a spare 20, a spare 50, whatever, please send it because it can always help. Unlike you don't send any more golfers. We don't need them, but we do need money. So. That's always a good thing.
I do have one more thing. We are working. We're really just started in the last couple months working with Rosecrans and their new veterans thing that they're setting up. They're just getting people in position to do that. We're going to be working with them to be able to push people to them if they contact us and they need it. So we'll be able to have another opportunity for people to get some help.
Awesome. Good deal. Very good idea. All right. So before we let you go, we'd like to try a little trivia on you guys. And as I mentioned earlier in the chat, we've got a link to the website. We've got a link to the Facebook page. So give that a try. I'm going to try a new screen here to see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work for us or not. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Well, that's a nice screen. Hey, Tom.
All right, Mark and Jamie, you're going to have to put your heads together figuratively and literally.
There we go. That's it. I can be
go.
blocked out. You guys are, I'll try to be your lifeline for your trivia. Maybe we'll see how it goes.
You are kind of square anyway, Greg.
I'll just stay right.
All right,
here
up for grabs,
logo.
folks, is this wonderful trophy.
Uh-oh.
This wonderful. Or you can opt for door number 2, which is a little Snoopy something or other. I know, Mark and Jamie, when you first saw me on the screen, I'm pulling out my big giant stuffed animal, and I've got frogs, and I've got Snoopy and all that. I'm an odd individual. In a good way, though. In a good way. All right, here we go. You ready for trivia?
Yeah.
Sure.
I promise they won't be too difficult. All right, here we go. Question number 1. What is the symbol for Everready batteries? Once again, what is the symbol for Everready batteries?
Is it lightning bolt?
Remember, Greg, you're locked out.
I know. I'm trying to think of a.
Brian, you can join too. Oh, and by the way, I shouldn't have to say it, but no Googling. No Googling.
Yeah, B's Googling.
Is that the guy that put the battery on his shoulder?
I'm looking at his eyes like.
Put the battery on his shoulder. I knock it off my shoulder. I dare you. Go ahead. I dare you. Who was that?
I don't know.
No idea.
Never heard of it.
It could have been, but that's not the answer. Once again, what is the symbol for Everready batteries?
We don't know.
Is it just a plus sign?
All right, Brian, no guess.
I don't know.
It is a cat. It is a cat running through the number 9.
Oh,
yes. Yep.
And it's blue with a number 9 yellow and a black.
As soon as you say that, now I see it in my head.
All right.
All right, 2 more.
All right. Number 2, question number 2. What is the only dog whose smelling prowess is actually admissible in a court of law?
Is that German Shepherd?
German Shepherd, yeah.
Any other guesses? I'll always ask if there are any other guesses just because
I'm thinking
that one's wrong.
I'm thinking it's got to be like a bloodhound.
A hound dog?
Bloodhound.
No.
Bloodhound's correct. Hound dog works.
Dog.
But we'll go blood. All right. Here we go. Geography question. Sort of. In 1971, East Pakistan won its independence from Pakistan and became this country.
East Pakistan.
No Googling, Brian.
Yeah. East Pakistan became what country?
Yep. 1971, East Pakistan won its independence from Pakistan and became this country.
Is there a country called Kumar?
No, but I went to school with a guy named Kumar. Seriously, I did.
I was gonna say either Iraq or Afghanistan.
East.
I don't think they're that old.
Okay, I'm going to give you one hint, and it's going to be a very, very, very kind of a. Maybe Greg will get it because he's a music guy. The first part of this country.
You just said music. That's all I needed. I know now.
Okay.
I think I.
What are you thinking? Oh, I'm completely confused now. What do you think, Greg?
Kathmandu.
Israel.
No, Kathmandu. Okay, no. All right, it's a Todd Rundgren song, one of his absolute favorites. They play it at every arena. Think of the song, and that's the first part of this country.
No idea.
I want to bang on the drum all day. Bangladesh.
Oh.
Bangladesh.
Sorry, we didn't do very good there.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. The problem with trivia, sometimes if you're not in that mindset, I do it 3 nights a week. Greg does it fairly often. If you're not in that mindset, it's really hard to come up with that stuff. Now, if we were to do this every single week, in about 3 or 4 weeks, if you were to play trivia or something like that, you'd be winning. You'd be scoring.
We know what he was
high
fishing
scores.
for. That's right. That's right. All right. Well, as I mentioned earlier, the links are in the chat. If you want to go right to the RDM Foundation and check out all that they're doing, make a donation, and get on that waiting list for volunteers. Maybe get on the waiting list for next year's golf tournament.
That's right.
It's I don't know how you're going to expand on this, but I'm sure someone will help you do it. So you'll any final words?
We appreciate your time today too.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Brian, Mark, Jamie, thanks for coming on, and all the best in your event. All right.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
There we go.